Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Raine Plays. Today we're back in Brindleton Bay. I'm in the Sable Square neighborhood. First, I thought I would try these guys' house. What's it called? It's a Good House or something like that. And it is. I do not particularly care for the barn style. That roof is... I just don't like it, but that's just personal preference. But there's two guys living here with a dog, and as ugly as that carpeting was, I just didn't think it was too bad of a thing. So I went across the street to this Domus Familiarus, and this is an empty house. So I had to create a character. Her name's Lori. Can't remember the cat's name, though. And this is another one of them barn-style roofs. I left everything. I just tweaked, redesigned, fixed a few mistakes. Quite a few mistakes. I mean, the roof was even sticking through the... I'm sorry, my software just told me to do something and I don't know why it did, so I paused. Forgive me. The roof was sticking through one of the ceilings. I fixed that. I changed colors and I just redecorated the inside. A little bit of redesign as well, but basically the same layout. Like this corner window here is just sitting there on the corner, and then this window here is clipping the door frame. That stuff just drives me nuts. And then in here is I shouldn't do that, darn it, I'm probably not in line with the video. I had major trouble with this recording software. I do not know what the problem is. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I have to restart my computer every time I want to make a recording. Otherwise, Audacity just won't record. You press record and nothing happens. And I keep reading instructions and advice, and it's not helping. It's not telling me to do what I can do, or if I'm doing what it's telling me to do, it's not making a difference. So I almost ended up just sticking music on this video. Maybe a lot of you would rather I did that. I don't know, because I know I'm a very boring person. Speaking of boring people, me being the boring person, not the person I'm going to be talking about, but I started watching these, I don't know why, but how to grow on YouTube and how to grow on Twitch. I think I started watching one of his videos, how to make YouTube, not logo, well, is it a logo for your homepage? Those pictures that you use. I watched that, and then it said there was one, he had one for Twitch, and I watched that, and then all of his videos came up on the right side in YouTube, and I just let it play through. And he does a lot of help videos specifically for YouTube and Twitch, and he repeats himself a lot, and a lot of his videos overlap, but that's beside the point. He says the obvious, which is if you don't have a personality and if you're not charismatic, you're just not going to go anywhere. You have to have a selling point or something, and a lot of people say that, and I understand it. I'm not charismatic. But anyway, the point is, one of his examples was, have you ever gone into a room like at a party, and there's one person in particular that you're drawn to, one person in particular who, when they speak, everyone becomes silent so that they can listen? I'm sorry, I'm looking at my video again, and it's doing something weird. It's mirroring. I hope it doesn't show up in, again, maybe I can get rid of that part. If you see someone like that, That is charisma, obviously, and that is what will help you to grow. Well, I'm not like that at all. I'm the exact opposite. If I dare to say anything in a public setting, 9 times out of 10, people will either walk away or doze off or just interrupt me to start a different conversation. I've had that happen to me so many times. I'm that dull, apparently. I just have nothing to say. Or I do have something to say and people are kind of interested in what I'm saying, but then they're very ready to argue or call me out or say that I'm lying or I'm making something up. I don't know how to explain that, but that's the other route. So does that mean I'm doomed to fail here and that I'm just spinning my wheels? I don't know. I have no idea. I doubt I'm ever going to find a niche or a quirk or something that draws people's attention. I doubt that's ever going to happen. It's not that I'm not trying, because he made me think, and that's a good thing. At least he made me think. I am putting in 100% effort. I am trying. I know it doesn't look like it right now. My videos still look pretty bad, but I mean, I spent good money to improve my software. I'm still in the learning process, trying to figure out what all the buttons and knobs and settings. I still haven't figured some of them out, and that might show. But it doesn't mean I'm not trying. I'm just dumping stuff down on my channel and walking away. That's not the case. But as far as being charismatic, that's something you're born with. You've either got it or you don't. And I understand why there are super popular people. And then there are run-of-the-mill people. I understand that. I'm run-of-the-mill. I always have been. I'm not going to argue that point. But I think what I'm trying to get at is, does that mean run-of-the-mill people have no right to be on these platforms? I disagree. Because as I've mentioned before, especially on Twitch, I understand they're two different platforms. I understand that. But I'm just speaking about Twitch right now. Whether the person is engaged with their audience or not, whether they even have an audience, whether I'm even clicking follow so that they know I'm there. When I'm watching The Sims 4 playthroughs on Twitch, I become absorbed. Regardless of what it is they're doing, I just stare at the screen and anticipate the next move. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And then, even if I have to go or it's time for me to go to bed or whatever, and I have to stop, I will always just type in thank you, and then I just leave. I don't wait for a response. Because one thing that I have difficulty getting over is like you're watching a YouTube video and you make a comment on it, and that comment 9 times out of 10 is directed toward the video creator, right? But then all of a sudden you come in the next day to your email and there are a ton of notifications with responses to what you said from people who also watch the video. That has always blown my mind. And I know it's stupid. I understand that. But that doesn't change the fact that I find it extremely odd. For me, it's the equivalent of having a face-to-face conversation with someone, and then a perfect stranger just walks right up and interjects or invites himself into the conversation without permission. That's how I view it. And I know I shouldn't, because it is a situation where, yeah, they do have permission to interject on YouTube. That's what the comment section is for. But I can't get over the fact that people actually respond to what I typed. I just think it's weird. And I know I shouldn't, but I do. It's very uncomfortable for me, so I'm super reluctant to leave any remarks unless it's like, great video, or thank you so much for the help. That's about it. But once in a while, I just can't resist going, this was very interesting. Your outlook on this topic goes against mine. So it was very refreshing to hear your opinion on it. You know, it gave me some insight or something like that. And then I'm in absolute terror the rest of the day, thinking someone's going to comment on this. And 9 times out of 10, they're mean, you know, because they're misunderstanding what I had said or my meaning. And it's none of their business. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, whatever. That was silly. I should not have even brought that up. You see what I mean? I'm not charismatic. I don't have a great personality, and I'm boring. Oi. Now, as far as this build goes, I thought the house was cute. But this neighborhood is very Mr. Rogers. I'm even using that for my thumbnail. I don't know what I'm going to call the video yet, but I'm thinking it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It looks exactly like Mr. Rogers' little fake town at the beginning of his show. And this is a farm she's looking out on. Can't imagine how that would smell on a daily basis or in the heat, but I actually went ahead and gave them a second room. I normally don't do that when I only create one sim. I'll create a bedroom and a bathroom for them, and then whatever space is left over, I'll create some sort of like a workspace or an exercise room or something. This time I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give her a second bedroom. Because I'm finding it more and more difficult to give my Sims things to do. I don't know why, but it's been the case for a while now. I'm just struggling to find items that I can put down that they will utilize. Also, I didn't give her a TV, and I worried about that for a while, and then I thought, nope. I think the less you give a sim, the more inclined they are to do what you ask them to do. They have less, what are they called, whims or inclinations when you have them on autonomy. So without the TV and the stereo, and if you put down an easel, especially for whatever reason, I guess my female characters would do that because I usually give them the creative trait, and that might be it. But they're constantly running to the easel, constantly going to the TV, constantly turning on the stereo, and they're not really doing what they need to do. So I guess the less items, the better. Only if you're going to do a playthrough, though. Now, I need to mention, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning of my video, we're breaking a record here as far as heat goes, and we don't have air conditioning. I am not closing my window because I will suffocate even in the short time I'm making this audio. My next door neighbor's air conditioner is so freaking loud. It's not funny, and I know that this microphone's going to pick it up. I'll apologize for that now. But if you can hear the loud whine humming noise, I'm sorry. I downloaded a lot of my old YouTube audio library files to this computer. I think I fixed the display settings. It's not as jarring for me now. It's not as jagged and bright. I turned on sync and I lowered ultra on The Sims 4 to high, so everything's at high instead. Now you see, if you look at the plants here on the front, they've still got that, like the tips of them, I don't know what you call that, but the outer edges of everything just seem to jaggedly go white, and I just don't like that look. But then again, it could just be what I'm looking at on my editing software, because when I watched yesterday's video, or the last video that I did, that was probably 2 days ago, It came out just fine. I was stunned. And I shouldn't be, because I want to mention that as well. I keep thinking I'm still using my old computer and I have to be very careful so I'm not recording enough. I'm just being overly cautious without realizing I have upgraded and it's okay to do these things now. Hopefully I will let that go soon. So I apologize if you're not seeing enough of what I did to this house. I hope it's still enjoyable enough for you though. I always run out of things to say toward the end. Part of the boring, non-charismatic traits in me. I kind of like those little coves on either side of the house, but again, I'm just not a fan. Like I said, I fixed up the roof as best I could on either side, but if I were to do this on my own, I doubt I would ever be able to make a roof like this, because when I do the circle things in and out, it never works and I can never get it to go back. Once it's set, and I don't know how to fix that. Anyway, I do hope you like my video. I thank you so much for being here, and I do hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.